shenanigans of Ryan's first night of Fiona Appreciation Month.
Fiona Appreciation Month.
Yeah, that's going to be yearly too.
How many times did Treasured Guest whack him upside the head for getting one of the stories wrong?
Oh no, he's a legend. He doesn't need to avert to violence like that.
He poked him in the back of the knee with a get.
Anybody? Any other questions or anything anybody has before we start? Anybody have?
I don't think so.
No. All right. Let's get the.
I forgot I have a specialty in overt threats. I'll have to remember that. I forgot about that.
Oh, I guess I need specialties.
Yeah.
I have a charisma of 5, a manipulation of 4, experience of 5. I don't have specialties in any of those.
You should get one in overt threats.
And I have a 4 in survival now, so.
Or what's passive aggressive?
Yes, there's nothing passive about your aggressiveness.
This sheet makes it easier to do specialties too. I haven't seen anyone actually do a specialty.
Yeah. All right. All right. If you guys are done throwing dice all over my virtual tabletop, we can start.
No, we are not.
I'll let you know when I'm done.
So you hear, so Caboose Batoon finishes his little spiel, and then parks himself kind of squatting, facing the door of the stagecoach. And go ahead, RB. Did you want to reflect on what you wrote, what you said you were doing?
What I said I'm doing?
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling a story every day.
No, if you pull 2 chairs up and you sit down next to him.
Oh, that's one. Okay. Yeah. So I'm handing him a fine Dominican cigar and asking if he'd prefer to smoke that. And I'm basically not gonna say anything but sit and wait with him because it seems like he knows what he's doing.
So he takes the cigar and he kind of smiles and nods at you. He reaches in his pocket and he pulls out it looks like some ash, and he takes the ash and he rubs it between his fingers and puts it underneath his lip and goes like this a bit, and then opens up the cigar and puts the tobacco in his mouth.
Whatever does it for you, my friend.
And you guys hear a knock on the door. You're right now that you guys are deep in the Umbra right now, just in passing, and you guys are in the outside. Just seems to be kind of dark and shadowy. It's moonlight in the Umbra. Spirits around. The outside seems to be reflective of almost like a bayou of some sorts, and it's in one of the more tamer areas of the near Umbra.
So who's with us?
Cabooses, Professor James Steelbrand is. Treasured Guest, obviously, and Shadia of the Souls is also there, but Seeking Path, High Lord Bellaforth has kind of been in and out a little bit, but he hasn't really been around. Same with Moon. Angmar Runebreaker kind of walks through once in a while, seems to be working on something with Seeking Path. They're just kind of doing some thurgy things you guys not quite sure of.
I will, Barney, during this entire time, I will occasionally go visit the High Lord just to give him company.
Okay. You see that he's very much of all of you are well versed enough in Gyro society to know that he's full on in Hirano right now. He's been in Hirano since you guys took him. So.
Well, I'll go open the door.
Okay. It's funny how you guys kind of like assume that there might not be a fight because no one said they're going to do any gifts or anything or did any rights ahead of time.
We've got 3 6 ranks in the room. They can buy us a few seconds to get any rights we need.
All right. You see at the front at the door, you see those 2 people on the bottom.
Hold on, I'm gonna zoom out. Yeah.
How they're already on the 6th rank list.
They've got enough.
Gonna be a 2-for-1.
Can I help you?
You sense you sense the power from them already. You don't sense any issues at all. You don't sense any danger. There's no worm on them or whatsoever. And you see Caboose says, "So you guys got my message, huh?"
Right.
I hold the door open.
Everybody roll your perception empathy.
Ooh.
Or I'm trying to think. What else? Let me look at a sheet here. Perception.
Survival.
Or perception primal urge.
Does this have anything to do with ascertaining loyalty?
No. Perception empathy or perception primal urge would be. Difficulty of a 6. Two, 4, 5, 3.
I'll go outside real quick.
All right. 3. Okay, Chaska got 5, 3, 2 successes. So Kate, you see that those 2 people, you know with those 2 successes that it's a Black Fury and it's a Shadow Lord. And you know that they know each other. With 3 successes, RB, you know that, and you immediately make the connection that these 2 people were part of that pack that Caboose was talking about. And 4 successes, Bob. You sense that did you roll? Was yours a primal urge or was yours a empathy roll?
Primal urge.
Primal urge.
Yeah.
You with your primal urge roll, you sense that there is a lot of passion between the 2.
The 2 that are coming on.
Yeah.
Okay. Like they're friendly. All right.
Yeah. And they walk on together, and you see that he you see the Shadow Lord motions for her to walk in first, and then she nods. Chaska with 5 successes. Did you roll with your 5 successes? Was that a primal urge or was that empathy?
Yeah, primal urge.
Primal urge. You know what? So you know what these guys know is that these 2 are from that pack, from the pack that Caboose talked about that years ago that he was a part of. And you also sense that the 2 of them with your primal urge roll, you sense the 2 of them have been inseparable probably since all those decades ago.
I wonder if they're Bob's grandparents.
Long line of litany violations.
Exactly.
That's a good investment.
And Caboose says, "Well, I know we're under a time. I know we're under a time crunch, and I made some calls, and due to the fact of some of the conversations that we had, meeting our connections there, I figured we'd probably be better off finding some Shadow Lord and a Black Fury that I know and trust to meet that match, but also somebody that knows a thing or two of snubbing their noses at their own tribes."
I look to the folks that have already been with us for a while, just to kind of get a sense of like if anybody else is reacting at all.
Shadia seems oblivious to who they really are. Treasured Guest, you can see that his cheekbones go up, even though he doesn't have you can sense that, he has a ghost of a smile if he had a mouth. And Professor James Steelburn, who's the only Philodox there, who's actually the only Philodox, he acknowledges them respectfully, and he he says, we're glad that you've come, and he's being very diplomatic, and he excuses himself. He does it in a very polite manner, as polite as you'd expect someone with a 10 in glory, a 10 in wisdom, and a 10 in honor would do.
Do we get a sense of their auspices?
Yeah, they're you do. You'd sense that they're Galliards. Both of them are.
Interesting. So the storytelling just got even more.
Caboose says, "I'd like to welcome."
Sounds like something Caboose would say.
Caboose says, "I'd like to welcome my good friends who have plenty of stories to tell as well. Stoyan, Pure Poetry, and Rhea Holds the Tale." Just to lay out everybody's history, they've earned their renown, and they've earned their loss of renown as well. And he kind of motions to them and says, "If you don't mind," and Rhea says, our sins of the past have been well documented, but if they haven't heard, then that's fine. They've earned their ranks in a very hard manner. I think out of everybody that you've collected here of these legends, they're the ones that have lost the most renown over their years. And unabashedly so. And he kind of looks and he kind of nods to Bowery Bob with all due respect, and he says they're the proud, and he kind of like the best he can do and say proud in the most respectful way but he says they're the proud parents of at least 3 separate Metis children over their years. And the loss of renown they've regained in their own ways.
Yeah, that's even more impressive. They lost all that renown. There's still 6 rank legends.
You get the sense they're probably the oldest ones out of all the other legends too. They probably have at least another 5 or 6 years on everybody else. Excluding because Moon had his own journey, and so did Shadia, of course. But
I will nod respectfully to both of them. They're still legends.
Mine is it's not a flippant sort of answer, but it's more of like I'm pouring myself a drink, and it's sort of like a chuckle into a salute. It's more of a like, I don't know how I'm supposed to react to this, but it's a nervous laughter. That with the salute ending in like, yeah, fuck it.
I will approach her and bow respectfully. Welcome, Crone, to Harrogate. I assume she's by now a crone, no longer able to give birth.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the title that they get. It's what a sister would call,
an awfully presumptuous assumption, though.
and not that they're not trying. I mean,
and you see too.
I am Kate, also of the Black Furies.
You also too, and the piece of it too is that Stoyan, as a Shadow Lord, their tribal weakness is that they lose more. That when there's a renown loss, they lose more renown. You see that he has. It looks like he has a lot of ritual scars on, probably from other Shadow Lords given to him. And he wears them proud. You see that there's a lot of ritual scars on. There's a lot of things where he's got some pretty deep cuts over his face that look like we're done slow and methodical. And you see that you see though it's you guys. I mean, especially the ones that roll the primal urge. You sense there's still a lot of passion between these two, and according to Caboose, this was going on before that. So these two have been together for well over 40 years. So
I'm glad I didn't roll primal urge. I don't want to get that impression.
Rhea says, my understanding is that you had quite an ordeal, sister. Is what Caboose told me.
I had words with several of our other sisters who are followers of Madame Gibbons.
Well,
our parting was not on good terms.
Well, and you need to know that you have every right. You're every right. You're every much of a Black Fury as those other women are. And every single one of us has our own version of what honor is and what version of what glory and wisdom is. So take your scars. Don't let them define who you are.
I am Ragabash Crone. I never let anybody do that.
When you piss off people, that means you're doing something right.
God, I've done a lot right in my life then.
And she says, for what it's worth, Stoyan and I are here to do the greatest sacrifice for Gaia. We've been around for a long time, and it'd be an honor if your pack here accepts us as the legends that represent our tribes.
Hell yeah.
Really?
I think Bob's the highest rank here.
Tell us the story of going into the pit. The Good Hope pack it was. Gaia's Hope.
Yeah, Gaia's Hope pack. Yeah, we can tell you that story. But first, let me hear more of what this journey is. Just a side note, we're going to tell that story in a different gaming session.
But we want to know it now. Well, I was at the. Okay.
Bob's impatient. He's got he's got the impatience of a 2-year-old. So forgive him.
The reason I asked is that'll give us an idea of who you are. We know Caboose over here. These guys are misfits. So that they likely identify with what I jokingly say.
Over the years, I mean, we've traveled from cairn to cairn. At one brief point, we were each one of us at one point or another have been SEP leader. I was a SEP leader at a Black Fury cairn for a few years. He was a SEP leader at a Shadow Lord cairn. And to be clear, and she points to Kate. She goes, just so we're clear as well, and because of your altercation, I believe in what Madam Givens does, but I'm not here to support Madam Givens. I'm here to make sure that what the role that you all do succeeds.
I have no doubt of that.
So then you know a little bit about the right.
Yep.
Of Still Skies, and you know who travels with us.
I know. We know who some of them are, and we believe it's the right thing to do. But I think there's a question that we need to address, and it's not our place to answer the question because, to be frank, and she looks at Caboose, and she looks at Treasured Guest. She says, if you all succeed, we're all going to be dead. So you only decide what's going to happen after that. As she says that, you see Professor James Steelbrand comes back into the room as the rank 6 Philodox. She says, if I may ask, Professor, have you had any conversations with them about what's going to happen next? He said, it hasn't really been my place to say, but there has to be a decision being made.
What do you mean?
Well, obviously, we would do everything in our power to ensure that your names are entered into the silver record, that you will be, no pun intended, legend, immortal, for the sacrifice you are willing to make.
Yeah, that's I figured that's Francesca's role in all this.
She says, Professor Steelbrand says, you all own an extremely powerful fetish really, this Stagecoach isn't a cairn anymore. It hasn't been a cairn since it lost its moon bridge. You guys are traveling in one of the most powerful fetishes that the Garo Nation and will workers are looking for. And every single tribe has given you a full breadth of allowing you to finish your journey, which is to make sure the Rite of Still Skies succeeds. But after that, something's going to happen to the Stagecoach, and it's none of our decisions. It's all up to all of you on what's going to happen to this.
I want to just throw it against the wall. When everything's said and done, destroy it.
What?
Destroy it. We won't, Bob. Let's be perfectly frank. If the tribes want this, they will get it. We do not have the strength to defend it against every tribe. We don't have it. And frankly, the way they have acted, none of them deserve it. I shudder to think of it in the hands of the Shadow Lords, even some other tribes. It might be the best thing, honestly, to destroy it. No one is worthy to have it. We can go down fighting if that's what you want to do. I'll stand by your side to the death, Bob. That's not in question. But let's be realistic. We don't have the strength to fight every tribe for this carriage.
So wait a minute. Let me understand this. This is no longer a cairn?
Well, that was
whoever just said that.
That Professor James Steelbrand said that. And you see the Shadia, who's the only third in the room, kind of nods as well. She says, technically, it's an extremely powerful fetish that has links to that it holds all the power of the Umbra inside of it.
You see that changes things in Bob's demeanor, because he's very dialed into contract sort of things.
And according to the history of it, this belonged, whatever this was, in some form or other, this font of power, wherever it was, originally belonged to Madame Gibbons.
Yeah, it was taken from her for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay. Some of us have had run-ins with Madame Gibbons, and we've got our own reasons for hating her, wanting to fight her. But I don't think I know everybody's reasons. Hey, what more can you tell us about Madame Gibbons?
Before I was assigned here, I was briefed shortly by my SEP leader. She didn't give me a whole lot of information on who or what she is. Just that a large number of my sisters follow her. She has, in the past, aided our tribe greatly. She has done things for the Furies, advanced our interests, and therefore other Furies have given her their loyalties. Though not all of us agree with that. I agree with my SEP leader that though she is an ally, the Furies treat her more like Pegasus than just an ally, and that she's not. She doesn't deserve worship. And that's what they're doing. They're following her blindly. And as I stated to one of my sisters, they are become sheep to a very powerful shepherd. And it is very concerning to me because I don't know who I can trust in my own tribe anymore.
Rhea says, I can clear the air on who she is. if it makes everybody feel a little bit better. She's a will worker that's been around since the ancient Greeks. She's kind of lost a sense of what reality is. She has her own sense of reality. And she's been around for about a couple of thousand years.
Well, that's terrifying.
You know what I would like to do? Is there silence? Okay.
Eat her heart, I imagine.
When the Storm Eater first came, it attached itself to the Wormbringers, as they call it, and things seem to run amok over here in probably the worst storytelling that you all have heard in a while. So my thoughts are, when we bind this yet again, I think it would be appropriate, now that I know that it's not a Cairn, and that my contract is void, that we offer this as a gift to the Pure Ones to make amends for the Wormbringers.
And make them tribes? You don't think the Shadow Lords or the Get, or even your Iron Riders, the Silver Fangs, you don't think to go after the Wendigo and the Octenna for this?
So how's that any different?
Like they haven't already?
As we say in concert.
Basically giving them another reason.
It's a symbol. That's just my thoughts, man. I think, I don't know.
I believe me, I understand your intent, but I have a bad feeling.
Nope, we lost Mark.
Oh, there he is.
Mark, he looks like this.
Yeah. Mark, you're frozen. Oh.
No, he's back.
All right, he is. Okay. All right.
I still can't see him.
I had a moment in Gold Springs where that felt right. Take it or leave it. It's my thoughts on this. Or that's my thoughts on where this goes afterwards. If it was still a Cairn, I would die here. If I don't die in the upcoming months.
Well, Chaska, he's basically offering it to your people. What are your thoughts?
I think it's an honorable gesture. I think it's an honorable and wise gesture.
It is, but
Is it
it could have repercussions as well.
But not a glorious gesture.
It's not what I completely agree, but leaving it anywhere could have repercussions. Leaving it with anybody and leaving it anywhere could have repercussions. Half of your people apparently are untrustworthy because of their allegiance to Madame Gibbons. I've seen the cities and the sprawl. I mean, half of that is my blood, but I don't want to leave this to the Iron Riders. I don't want to leave this to the Get. We, as much as the Get have been nice, they're foolhardy at best.
I mean, if I had to pick I would agree with Bob. I would say it would probably be the best decision. But I stand by my first thought as to what to do with this.
Oh, and as to my Gibbons thing, I think yeah, she's dead. If I
Yeah,
get
we know.
the arms reach of her.
We know, Bob.
Well, Chaska asked. I didn't remember if he.
No. I knew the only one that really whose position really stood out to me was Kate's. I also just wanted to dig and see if I could get some additional information.
Was that you, Ryan?
I want to know what RB thinks. as I pour him
He wants to.
a glass of
He
cognac.
wants to. He wants to roll us up to Wall Street and sell it to the highest bidder.
He might have an idea we're not thinking of here.
Oh, I have all sorts of ideas that nobody's mentioned. I don't think any of them are good. We could leave it to the decision of the legends. They're the ones dying for this. Maybe they can come out with a wise solution. Or we sell it. We literally sell it to the highest bidder. What's it to us? What will each tribe offer us? Or
Kate,
who hasn't made a power
Kate
grab?
does one of these things. Oh my God, I am so shocked by his statement.
Also, who has not made a power grab for this? The Fianna. Roll this thing into Boston to the Silver Throne. They're a nice tribe. We drink a lot there.
And I guess we owe them because we destroyed their cellar, right?
Yeah. I mean, if we do have to give it to someone, seriously, have an auction. And I don't just mean money auction. I mean, everyone state what they're going to do with it. Everyone state what they're going to give us for it. And
because they're not going to lie to us.
We have all that information.
Bob is smiling. And you, if you have empathy, you can actually tell that he somewhat approves of that as well. But it was fitting that RB said it and not Bob.
James Steelbrand says the offer of giving it to one of the pure ones. The question then would be: would you give it to the Wendigo or the Uktena? And then the second question is, how do you decide that? And then the other piece is, you know very well that all the other tribes will not stand for that.
I said the pure ones, which means the Wendigo and the Antenna. And whatever befalls me, befalls me. But I'm just one guy. They'll come challenge me like a proper Gary will. And I'll pin their
Not
ears
all
back.
of them are as honorable as you are.
Shrug. We saved the North America. That's fine. Fine enough by me.
Or we keep it. Go down with the ship if someone wants it.
Why, RB, you're willing to die for this? I'm
willing to fill the Gatling gun up with silver and sit on top of the stagecoach with it.
Gonna run out of ammo at some point.
I don't know. I've been
Jam gun.
Quite a bit.
Jam gun works on a Gatling gun.
You haven't seen where the Gatling gun's gone yet, have you? As I kind of, you see that my clockwork arm kind of flexes.
It's become a Franken gun.
You'll see it when it's needed. So I looked at the professor. It's not that simple. Uktena and the Wendigo.
When it comes to tribal politics, they're just as much friends as the Shadow Lords and the Silverfangs are. You'd see the Uktena would want it for its magical purposes, and the Wendigo would want it to defend their lands. They can put hundreds and entire seps inside of this small stagecoach and roll up to any other sept. They will use it to fight the other Geru. It'd be the same reason why the Get would use it. They would use it to help continue forth attacking other cans who feel they are weak.
Well, maybe they are. Sorry to say, but
Child the Gaia Cairns would be the first to go.
As if we don't have enough problems.
If you give this to one single tribe, it would start war with any of the other tribes. Remind you that every tribe has heirlooms in it.
Heirlooms are like assholes. Everyone's got one.
I will step back to make sure I'm not between Arby and Bob.
Bob's
But
cool.
I mean, what really does it matter if you roll up in this or if you just walk up to their cairn and take it out from underneath them? I don't understand. Like, I just look around. I go, it's magical, yeah.
Yeah, but if you roll up in the middle of Sept through the moon bridge in this.
This is a Trojan horse. You can literally hide hundreds of thousands of warriors inside of this.
Yeah.
Completely
You bypass
endless
any
amount.
defenses they have.
Well, then you just to fight the worm. What the hell is wrong?
He said, James, Professor Stupper goes, Cub, you of all the journeys you've gone to, you've seen the conflict between our tribes. It's endless, and it goes on for the reason why there's so many different tribes.
Yeah, but pulling out their teeth and their claws and all that is not going to make it better either. The strong will hold it.
Short-sightedness seems to be a common thread through most of our people.
As soon as this rite is finished, every tribe will descend and will first be political about it and be diplomatic about bidding on why they deserve this stagecoach and why none of you should hold this. And when that's over, and when diplomacy fails, war will ensue. And it might not just involve the Geru. As I say, if this belongs to Madam Givens, you'll have will workers who are going to be eager to find a piece of this. I cannot overstate how powerful this stagecoach is.
Kate is very, very happy that he's making her point for him.
Can we just leave it in the Summerlands?
Jaska, you are a genius.
Somewhere hidden.
You are a genius. Of all the tribes that wouldn't use it for war, the children of Gaia,
or somewhere where it's hidden, somewhere it can be lost. Take it to the Deep Umbra.
They probably have an easier time getting to the Deep Umbra than they would the Summerlands, Summer Country.
As you say, the Summer Country is the only place you can only go there if you have a heart of pure love.
Yeah, I don't think there are too many Get in the world with that, or Silverfang, or Shadow Lord.
Yeah, give it to that Lupus.
I mean, if this cannot be destroyed, and it must be hidden, that's as good a place as any.
Caboose slaps his hand on the wall, and he points to Chaska, and he says, "That's the best damn idea I've heard. You have that little cub, Lupus. Take it by the reins and shuffle it off to the Summerlands until everybody behaves themselves, and then they can bring it back for the apocalypse."
So, eternity from now, it might return. Court, my only, just to be the ragabash. Would someone like Givens be powerful enough to tear down the barriers to get in there? She's a will worker.
Rhea says, I don't know the extent of her powers, but I do know that if she knew where it was, I don't think she would be able to find it. If it's there.
Yeah, it can't be found anyway, right? Isn't that one of its principles?
Not anymore. It was when it's kind of turned inside out.
Ah.
Now we're more shitty.
Yeah.
We'll
So
look to two newcomers. How do you feel about that?
Stoyan says, I think that's a brilliant idea. You send it to a place, if people want to use it for war and for their own selfish reasons, you send it to the place that people that have selfish reasons can't go to.
Boy, she's going to be happy with this tchotchke.
So then now our next thing is we'll have to worry about taking it out from under us before the end. So, or we should not let this out of this room.
Well, I guess we should, before we decide anything, Amos's mother is supposed to join us. Perhaps we should get her counsel on what she thinks of that.
Yeah. That would be a good idea, is to find out what the Child of Gaia Philodox would think. And the very fact is, the longer that would be, if it conceivably does go to the Summerlands, Summer Country, this stagecoach will slowly fade off into legend itself and mythology, as much as the Summer Country itself is.
Till the children of Gaia surprise us all and declare war on everybody.
The children of Gaia believe that they are the first tribe. We all started off being children of Gaia, and then we split off with our own versions of what it means to be Geru.
Are they right?
Everybody has a story about how they were formed, how their tribes began.
Every story has a bit of truth in it.
So the story, we need to have the actual the carriage, the stagecoach needs to kind of taper off from the story that we're telling here. Because, and allow me to be Kate for a second here. The way to get it now, everybody wages war on the children of Gaia. Go get it, or y'all die.
Oh, yeah. We can't tell anyone about this. We need to have that lupus with us. And right at the end, send her away with it under everyone's noses.
Well, guess we won't outlive the legends by long then. Guess as they say, live for nothing or die for something.
Caboose says, that's a good point. You guys will, if this plan works, the stagecoach will be safe, but that puts all of you in danger.
Well, I didn't consider that. Let's all go home.
We can just lie about it. Say we were double-crossed.
Yeah.
By those sneaky children, the guy.
That sweet little lupus lady.
When they nail your Weasley hide to an outhouse door, RV, I'll remind you of that.
The shitter wall. Everyone says underneath their breath.
The shitter wolf. There's a goddamn shitter wolf coming up.
Hey, he's a childhood guy.
Yep.
Yes, he is.
I want to meet this guy. I have to meet this guy.
Yeah, he's
around.
He's around. Yep.
So it looks like we got a plan.
Mm-hmm.
So now what?
Can we role play a party the rest of the day?
As long as RB doesn't get in that god awful green suit again.
Every night, baby, all month.
Hope you get it dry cleaned at some point.
So Rhea says, I hope I was able to waylay any of your concerns about the other Black Furies, Kate.
I guess I just have to take it as it comes. I have a duty to perform. I was sent here by my SEP leader to protect this Karen. That is my duty. I will follow what my SEP leader has told me to do. I won't lose honor doing what I've been told to do, doing what I feel is right, even if it means standing against my sisters.
It's not all of your sisters.
Yeah,
I know.
I asked the Shadow Lord, like in passing conversation, like I don't even know what it. Well, I do know what it is to be a pariah, but Phil thinks he might have been tossed. I don't think anybody at that meeting has any sort of like Shadow Lord guts to be able to make someone a Ronin, do they?
No, it's not up, and it's really not up to them. It'd be up to them. And Caboose says, and I was there for that meeting, so they have no idea what kind of power he has. And you see Caboose kind of quickly turn into a storm crow, then turn back away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Caboose. High five.
You sneaky little devil.
Oh, man. I'm going to miss these legends. Live them at all. They are badass.
There's actually the rank 6 Galliard gift is that you can actually be, it's called Storyteller, where you can be a rank 6 Galliard and then I'll actually just be the storyteller.
Yeah.
Like you can rewrite. You basically just, this is how it is that you'd say, like, they could actually, like, both of them, they're both rank 6 Galliards. Rhea could actually replay your conversation you had with the Black Furies and have it be completely different. And then that would be reality of the conversation.
The hell with the fourth wall, right?
No, if you guys are bored, look at when you go on wormfo.com, just look at the rank 6 gifts. You're like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when Barney realized he shouldn't have given me a rank 6 gift when I was playing a rank 6 Glasswalker.
Yes. You get one rank 6 gift. Oh, son of a bitch.
I picked the one that would make me win.
Gee, why am I shocked by that?
Why would I do something useful?
Why would you do something with your own self-interest in mind?
So
I got to be the NPC.
That's right.
No, I mean, with my self-interest, I would be shitty.
Yeah. Stoyan says, from my conversation, from what I know how that conversation went, the Shadow Lords knew very well the position Phil was in, and they were testing his loyalty, and then ultimately they know that Phil, being the Sept leader inside this place, is absolutely tantamount, and it does, whether Phil knows it or not, puts the Shadow Lords in the most powerful position in this entire endeavor. Now, what Phil does with it, and this is what Stonian says, I personally haven't met him, but what Phil does with this is that it would appear that either through theatrics that his loyalties are to his pack more so. And Caboose has got to say, as the fake crow in that room, I have to say that he did represent the pack well.
Everybody, Phil's got a lot of good things going for him. And one of the good things is if he's taken out, I smile toothily. They're going to want to keep him in power.
Well, then I'll just make sure I get to 4th rank and challenge you for it, Bob.
And so I would say that they do not want Phil to not be to not declare himself a Ronin. And as I said, it's the same situation what Rhea just said about Kate. Nobody can tell Phil how to be a Shadow Lord. He's just as much of a Shadow Lord as the other ones in that room. And I dare say the way he's been playing it, I think he's more of a Shadow Lord than those other ones are. And I give him credit for that.
And hopefully Mike's listening to this, or later.
A tear will run down his face because we're so loyal to Phil.
Exactly.
Does anybody have any other anybody have any other questions or? I forgot. Somebody else is on the Stagecoach. We forgot to mention. Sacred Ghost is there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he there?
Dale, that was the episode you missed.
Get here.
That was the episode you missed a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, when we went back to Gold Springs, we picked him up.
Yeah.
That's
So
when
suddenly, everyone noticed.
I had my Wendigo moment where I was like,
What auspice is Sacred Ghost?
Thurge?
Yeah, I think he's a third.
Thurge. Yeah, he's a Thurge. That's right.
So what does he need? Glory or honor?
He needs the glory to go into a black spiral pit. That's what he said.
I was going to say, because if he's a third, he's probably got all the wisdom he needs. But, like if Sag went 6th rank, he needs wisdom.
Yeah.
Sag's doomed.
I want to go to the university.
I forgot Sacred Ghost was there. Every time we forget about an NPC, it reminds me of that scene from Caddyshack where Rodney Dangerfield just goes, "Hey, let's all get laid." Hey.
Doesn't he get a little picture? He's one of the.
Yeah, I gotta get a picture that actually makes that represents how we've always imagined he looked like, because he's never had a picture. Yeah.
So wait, of all the legends we've picked up, we only have one Arun?
No, you have another. You have a rank 6. The Red Talon's an Arun.
I mean, but he's not with us yet.
He's not with you yet. Because
so
it's very rare. Yes, it's very rare to find a rank 6 Arun.
Okay, the only High Lord Bellafor so far is the one, and he's not all there.
None of
He's
them
sad
are really.
because he's not dead.
And to be honest too, out of all the rank 6 that you have, the two that seem to be the most clear-headed in a way is the 2 Galliards you just picked up, because they seem to have they're together for the, they've had their own company for a long time.
Oh, I'd put Caboose in that. He's all there, man. I mean, he may be a shit disturber, but he's all there.
That's true. You're not sure because he's a Bonar Ragabash. You're not quite sure if he's acting like a Bonar Ragabash or if he's completely crazy.
I don't think there's a difference.
Is there anybody else want to have any other questions or anything to your 2 new?
I mean, I'll probably later go to her and just seek wisdom as far as, I'm going to be a mother. She is a mother. Just, that type of advice. Not anything we need to, obviously role play out. But
okay.
Other than that, no.
I do like the idea of Mark getting motherly advice. Mothering advice.
Yeah. Let's play this out.
I have 2 kids, so I actually have some knowledge about this.
Yeah, but it come from Barney and saying it to you somehow just makes me feel woman-sized. And if you can change your voices, that would be. I want to make sure I have a clear memory of this later.
And I'm gonna need more.
Yeah, when Dale's in the bathroom wanking it.
You guys suddenly you see the stagecoach shake.
Oh boy, here comes Arby's guess. Way to shoot yourself in the foot on that one, Arby.
What?
What do you guys do?
It shakes.
It shakes.
Well, you were talking about using gifts. I use Luna's armor.
I open this infernal character sheet.
Hey Barney, what tribe is Sacred Ghost?
Wendigo.
No, Indian Native American tribe.
Oh, Sioux.
Yeah, I would have had a few conversations with him because I do speak Sioux, so yeah. I know he speaks English, but I want to practice using my Sioux.
Okay. Are you finding a picture for me, Dale?
Yeah, I'm gonna look for one.
Okay.
I stand up and just go, "Whoop! There we go."
Yep. I'm going Krenos, and
you hear that the mayor says, "I think we were in one location too long, and I think something followed our 2 new friends." Caboose shrugs his shoulders and he says, "Makes sense. Everybody knows you're collecting 2 legends, and then all of a sudden 2 legends seem to go in one specific direction in the Umbra."
So I got 5 successes for my Luna's armor.
Yeah. Stoyan, you see Stoyan turn Krenos, and Caboose walks up to him very nonchalantly and puts his hand on his shoulder and goes, "No, man, that we don't do this. We're the goods."
VIPs. As I walk by, slowly go transform into Krenos. Where's my gifts? There we go.
Stoyan says, "But we know how to fight." And Caboose says, "Yes." And
I'll just look at them.
They're really good at it, and they're very expendable. Where we are not right now. We're going to be expendable in a little bit, but not right now.
I will just say I agree with him. We are replaceable. Allow us to die for you. And I'll head towards the door.
Shouldn't we think twice about opening the door? Can't things sneak in once we open the door?
I'll just look up and say, Mayor, can we escape this?
It starts to shake again. He goes, I am seeing a big, giant black mouth that's opened up, and its teeth are turning into fully formed albino skeletons that are shaking the stagecoach.
Are we in the mouth?
No, it's on the side. It came out from the swamp.
It's just skeletons.
I imagine the mouth is attached to something much bigger, Arby.
Whoa.
You see Bob is just doing gifts as he's standing by the door quietly. I'm doing doing steadfast, and I'm doing bone the one about the rat. So that's a gnosis.
I want to see your iron coat roll.
It's coming.
Ew.
It's coming in iron. So.
But constantly coming.
So that's
Coming and coming.
stamina science.
Boom.
Where's the rolls? There we go. Difficulty is 6. And then we add, let's see, my stamina is at a 5, 6, 7, 8. So I add 8 more dice.
No, you don't need to do that, Sag. Just click on your Krenos, and it'll automatically add those dice already.
I know it does, but I have a gift that adds more stamina.
Oh, okay.
But this does allow me to do math a little bit better. Let's see.
3 successes.
Wow.
Well, that's underwhelming.
So I rolled 20 dice and I got 3 successes. Holy shit.
Jesus Christ. I rolled 11 dice and I got 5.
Wow, look at that. 3 ones.
The stagecoach starts shaking more violently now.
I jump out.
All right. Does
As
anyone
do
think
I.
I can shoot these things, or do I have to go Krenos?
You see Agmar Roombreaker storm down, and he turns Krenos, and Caboose is like, "Bay, stay down, man. We're not gonna find another get at 6th rank ever. Please stay down."
So Barney, I just did Fangs of Judgment. I'm doing Resist Pain. I'm doing Claws of Frozen Death.
Okay.
I have to say, Caboose is quickly becoming my favorite. Maybe it's just the Ragabash in me.
Okay, you jump out. High Lord Bellaforth comes out, and Caboose goes, no, man, come on, no, back up, stay here. All right, what's alertness for everybody, and we'll keep those rolls. Chaska, what was that for?
That was my Claws of Frozen Death, so I failed that roll.
Okay, yeah. All right. That was your wits alertness?
Your difficulty was 6, right?
Correct.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, I got 5 successes on it.
You got 5. All right, Sagas automatically going to go first because he's Aaron. All right, 1 success. All right, so you guys declare your actions, and then Sag, you can decide where you want to fit in on that. If you want to go first or use. So go ahead. Chaska, say what you're going to do.
I need to look something up real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and.
All right. Then Kate, tell me what you're going to do.
What's the scene?
I am. What are we facing? Is it
So if you go outside, the other side, it's basically looks like your very classic kind of bayou setup. You guys are on this kind of like a muddy, marshy path where there's the further back there's some spots where there's almost kind of like a series of logs laid out that went over some of the marshy spots just to add to the path to make it passable. And it's endless sea as you guys know. It's like a bayou swamp where there's like some areas where there's the ground kind of goes up where there's trees, but a lot of it is wet, moist. It's raining, and you see that it looks to be like a giant. Looks like it's a giant oily black frog with its mouth opened up wide, and the frog has these teeth that seem to be perpetually growing these skeleton-looking creatures. I would say skeleton only because they're albino, like bright white, made of bone, but they're not really shaped like skeletons. They more look like reptilian tooth monsters, I guess. They're like these reptilian. They look like they look like what do you call it when you walk on 2 feet? Bipedal. They look like bipedal reptile monsters that are made.
So they look like D&D lizard men.
Yeah, you could say that, but they're made of pure bone.
Nice. How big is this frog?
I would say it's about 20 feet across. The mouth is. All you see is the mouth. Whatever is below it is submerged in the water.
Oh, okay.
Would we be able to jump on the frog from where we're at?
And I would say go ahead with your who has the highest perception?
I have a 3.
3.
I've got a 3.
3.
You're not quite sure. All of you guys are not quite 4. All right, you're not. All right, it's about the 3 of you with a 3. You're not quite sure if that frog is sentient or not, as if it's some sort of magical tunnel that's opened up. With a 4 in perception, you notice, Chaska, that the eyes don't seem to be blinking at all. And who has the highest gnosis? I bet it's probably.
I think it's Chaska as well.
Yeah, I have a 6.
6 in gnosis.
I think
I've only got a 4. So
I got a 5.
You got a 5. You noticed also, Chaska, that this thing does not seem to fit in this umbral realm. The mayor deliberately took you to a place that seemed to be neutral, but this thing reeks of the worm. So it has a storm eater smell to it. So it seems to have emerged from another part of the Umbra.
Is the stagecoach?
I convey that to the.
Okay.
Is the stagecoach stuck? Is it being held?
Nope. No, it just seems to be parked because it was like basically after your poker tournament, you decided to kind of leave, have the stagecoach leave there as quickly as possible.
Tell the
mayor just went to a random place in the Umbra that had enough wild energy around it they wouldn't have to worry about anything. But you've been there for a long enough time, and also you just had 2 legends make a beeline for that place because Caboose told them where you were.
Tell the mayor to get down the road away from this, and we will catch up.
Okay. Is
I mean,
everybody?
I'll look to Bob to see if he wants to countermand me, but you know, our job is to protect the carriage. We can catch up.
Yeah, move.
Is everybody out of the carriage now?
Yeah.
Stagecoach? Yeah.
Yep.
All right. And so go ahead, Enoch. What's your? Just declare what you want to do, and then it'll be. Actually, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. And then it'll be up to our.
I'm gonna touch. I'm just gonna reach out and. Well, no, wait. This thing's. I don't. Wait. So I don't think this thing is alive.
The frog. You're not. You don't know. You don't see it as eyes blink. You don't see it blinking or moving. It seems to be opening its mouth up. You don't know if it's from a mechanically it's opening or if it's organically opening.
Shit.
The only thing you know for sure is not from here.
All right, I'm just gonna touch it, and I'm gonna use Devouring Rhyme.
Okay.
It's a cool ass Wendigo gift.
You guys just pull these random guests. Have no idea what they are.
Love them. I'm sending it to you now.
Okay.
It's only rank 2, but it's cool as hell. Basically, a Geru with this gift can touch something living and cause it to become covered with ice, slowly radiating outward from the point of contact. A shimmering coat of ice crawls over the target's body, freezing every muscle it touches into motionlessness. A jaggling, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Wow, okay. All right. Did you just learn that?
Yeah, I just got it recently.
All right. I still got to give you like a thing.
Yeah, you owe me like a bunch of stuff I got to do, but
yeah. Okay.
So, the player must spend a willpower, which I'm just doing that now.
All right. It'll take you at least an act. I don't know if you're going to spend rage. It'll take you an action to get over to it.
Well, that's why I was asking if we could. So, if it's taking an action, then I'm going to spend my rage and head over there.
Okay. All right, and that's what you want to do. And Kate. Sorry, Kate. What do you want to do?
Are these skeletons coming out after us? I guess.
There's a couple that are still kind of hanging on the stagecoach or is your action going to tell the stagecoach to leave?
Oh my! I mean, if they're,
for the sake of the story, go ahead and just what's your action?
If these things are on the stagecoach, I'm dragging them off.
Okay. All right, RB, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'll start hacking at the ones that are on the stagecoach.
Okay, so that's what they're all doing, Bob. So can either direct them to. Oh, go ahead.
I know we didn't work out the schematics or the ins and outs of the Gatling gun in the arm, but I think lots of small bony like creatures is kind of a good time to try this out.
Yes, it
Jesus.
is.
Yeah,
so I'm assuming I would spend a gnosis to bring it out of the arm.
Okay.
I'm going to use.
Probably not the best time to use it, actually.
There's always there. It's always the best time to use a Gatling gun.
There's a horde coming at us. It's the only time to use a Gatling gun.
That's true. If there's a bunch of flesh to strike, it's nothing but bone. Half your bullets are going to miss.
I've seen Predator.
And you also play D&D to know that when you fire arrows at a skeleton, you have a 50-50 chance of missing because there's no flesh there.
It's called a spray. It's like cutting through the air like an axe.
All right, what is your? I'm going to look for the stats on the Gatling gun. Here it is.
And don't compare a modern minigun to a friggin' old-fashioned Gatling gun.
So
They have
Gatling
two
gun.
different animals.
No, this is in the here. Don't worry. Difficulty of it says difficulty of an 8, but I'll make a difficulty of a 7 because it's actually part of your body.
Okay, and with the gift, the Tommy gun one, it lowers it by 2.
Oh wow! So difficulty of a 5.
Yes.
Son of a
and it basically what it does is it's great for firing in crowds because the Tommy gun doesn't. It's great for doing a spray in crowds.
Yeah.
So all I'm doing is just cutting across the entire field with that.
All right, and the damage is a 9.
But you rolled 10 extra dice to attack.
Do I?
That's what it says in the Wild West book.
All right.
I thought that was the draw.
Yeah, but all those dice aren't going to give me successes. Oh, that is some. I get 12.
The Gatling gun is the world's first automatic weapon. It's typically mounted on a tripod and is fed ammunition on a belt. All right.
The movie Django, not the modern Django Unchained, but the original Django, is probably actually a really good example of how Bob here is going to be using his arm.
So yeah, I get 12 successes, Barney.
To hit.
Yeah.
Okay. So any damage over what to hit. So anything over 3, you add to the damage pool.
Well, it's a firearm, so you add it all, right?
Yeah. No. No, that
But
was just
that's also spread out over a lot of targets.
yeah.
But yeah.
So you had 9 plus. Well, the 9's automatic. The 9 successes is automatic.
You can do 9 for each die if you spread it out for 1 die per skeleton.
9 plus. So 9. So that's 18 points of damage.
Yeah, see, this is a softening thing. I'm probably not going to keep firing. I'm probably just going to be like, and then charge in.
Okay.
So for role playing sense, I mean, if you really want to do the math, we can. But for the game, it's more like just.
Okay, so you spread it out. So you do 18 points of damage spread out then.
Yeah.
Okay. And how much rage did you say you're going to spend?
None. I'm just I'm going to use that to soften them up and see what everybody else does. And
yeah,
then
I'll spend 2 rage, Barney.
Okay. So go ahead, Chaska. You're going to spend a rage then to get a kind of jump over go through the muck to the.
Yeah, I spent a total of 3 rage, one of which to get there.
Okay. All right. So you're moving over there. Kate, you are grabbing at a skeleton
I'm
monster.
tearing one of these things off the stagecoach and ripping it to pieces and moving on.
Make a grapple roll to pull one off then. Yeah, go for it. All right, you grab him. Go ahead and do your damage. How you want to do it?
All right. I'm going to do it with my claws because I want it to be aggravated. So I'm going to just tear this thing apart as I pull it off.
Okay. And as you're rolling that, go ahead, RB. What are you doing?
I'm not gonna bother with grappling. I'm just going to try to do damage to the one closest. Oh, I'm gonna spend 2 rage too. Okay.
And out of the corner of your eye, you're staring at me with hearts.
Oh yeah. I'm into this. Right. Let's see if this works.
Oh.
No, it didn't add my. Oh yes, it did. Okay. 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. This cool says aggravated 6. Okay.
How do you?
All right, role play it out. Kate, how you doing it?
When I grab hold of this thing, I'll grab it in its rib cage.
Yeah.
And then as I bring it down, I'm just
ripping it apart. Okay. All right, RB, role play it out. How you doing it?
I'm just going for its head or whatever seems most headish about it.
Okay.
And I'm just hitting it with both claws at the same time on the head.
Okay. All right, and so go ahead, Chaska. You're there.
I'm just touching this thing. I'm touching this thing to figure out if it's alive, but also to use devouring rhyme on it.
Okay. And is there does that get a roll to
No, I just need to be able to touch it. And then I spent a will. Or I spent? Did I spend? Yeah, I spent a willpower. And then the target must spend a point of rage to resist the devouring coat of ice before the next round, or she becomes frozen and immobile for the rest of the scene. The ice itself behaves naturally under all external physical changes. So basically, just freezing it and doing damage to it.
The target must spend a rage to resist the devouring coat of ice before the next round. Okay. All right. So you go ahead and touch it, and Kate, you've got your other action.
And how many more skeletons are attached to the stagecoach?
Yeah, a couple more.
I'll go after them.
All right, go for it. Go ahead and roll. And RB, go ahead and roll. What are you going to do?
Well, what did my claw attack do exactly?
You did say you ripped it up pretty good.
Is it alive? Is it still kicking?
It's barely alive.
Yeah. If it's off the stagecoach, I'm moving on to another one. I'm getting these things off the stagecoach so the stagecoach can leave.
All right. Is the one that I hit, did it fall off the stagecoach or is it
Yeah.
still okay.
Yeah.
I'll move on to the next.
You ripped it off, but its arm is still kind of dangling passively on it, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Keep that as a souvenir.
Yeah, it's a battle trophy now.
Are there two close to each other?
Yep.
Can I divide my dice pool and attack two with one action?
Go for it.
Look at RB.
All right, and Kate, go ahead and roll your damage.
Kate is so proud of RB for being badass.
Mm-hmm. That's actually hard to do on this new form. I think I have to just...
What are you trying to do?
He's trying to split his dice pool.
Split my dice pool.
All right, Kate, 3 exhausts. Okay, you're able to pull the other one, pull another one off, and with the other 2 that he's attacking, that's going to be the only ones left. All right, that's enough to get onto him.
All right.
And just so you know, Sag, you seem to you do a good spray on that, and even hitting some of the teeth that still haven't formed into those bony lizard creatures.
So can I discern that, like, if we knock the teeth out, they won't form into something?
You could, you could try that. Yeah.
I do yell to Chaska then.
Okay.
And during the fight, where's Chaska?
Once.
So RB, those are your damage rolls?
No. So So actually, first swing I hit, second one I botched. So 1 damage. All right. 4 success.
Okay, so roll damage, and I need Kate to roll soak.
Okay.
Because he misses.
Oh. Nice.
Do I roll a second damage for her?
Yeah, you got to show how much damage you did to Kate.
Oh no.
Let's see. Where's this soak?
This is a Conan the Destroyer moment, or I scream, "The horn! Tear out its horn!" I yell to Chaska, because you're back now. Knock out the teeth, because I'm seeing that that they're forming from the teeth, and maybe if we knock the teeth out, they won't form.
All right, so he did 4 points of damage, aggravated damage to you, Kate.
She can soak it, right?
I hope.
Did you just shoot her with silver bullets?
I wouldn't be soaking it.
Oh yeah, you're fine. Look at that. Role play that out. I want to see. Role play that scene out. Tell me what you do, RB, and tell me how you respond, Kate.
So first time howling, and I hit the first one. So I do 4 points to the first enemy.
Yeah.
And then I'm really excited, and I swing, obviously clumsily with my left at the next one, and I trip a little and start falling off of the wagon. And then I went and I grab onto something just to save myself from falling, and I end up grabbing Kate and scratching down her a little bit.
Okay. And Kate, you did. What do you do when that happens?
Hold on.
You guys just stand still. I'll clean them off with the minigun.
All right.
That is a charisma intimidation roll as I just glare at him and growl.
All right. So Chaska's got one more round. One more action.
1, 2. No, I should because rage is additional turns, right?
Right. Oh, okay. So you got 2. You spent 3 rage.
I spent 3 rage. So
okay.
So do I hear what Bob says?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, first of all, from my first touch, does it feel like it's like a living creature?
Yes, it does.
Okay, then I just grab as many of the teeth as possible, and I start just doing devouring rhyme on the teeth.
Okay. So you're gonna spend you're gonna touch 2 teeth then?
Yeah, I mean I'm just I'm just grabbing like the gums basically. I'm gonna freeze the mouth. I want to freeze as much of the mouth and the teeth as possible.
So you're gonna spend another 2 willpower to do that then?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. Is there any left on the stagecoach?
No. And now you guys are kind of far enough away as the stagecoach's moving that you'll need an action to get back towards where Bob is now, because you guys both have one action left.
Once the stagecoach is clear, I will yell to them, to Chaska and Bob, stagecoach is clear, fall back.
Okay, RB, what are you doing?
So just
because you spent 2 rage as well, correct?
Yeah, so I got one thing left to do. Do I have so do I know anything about that Gatling gun? Does it do aggravated damage?
It depends on what the bullets are in it.
Okay.
Silver will do aggravated against Garu, but
not
these aren't Garu.
Guys. Yeah.
No.
I'm wondering if I should provide cover now with a gun. But I don't know whether Bob's bullets were something special.
Well, if this thing's loaded with silver and you start firing into that group, there's a good chance you're going to hit Chaska and Bob, and they will not be able to soak that damage.
No, I know.
There's no way I would fire silver at skeletons.
You wouldn't. RB's a different story.
All right, I'm going to go. Then I'll use my last rage to turn Glabro because I've modified my rifle so I can shoot it well. Is that okay that I've done that?
Yeah. No, I just imagine that you shoot at silver at one of those things, almost, and it takes off a mask and it's Shadow Lords. Hey, man.
I will charge back into the fray with Chaska and Bob, but
okay. So
I will repeat my the stagecoach is clear. We need to fall back.
Okay, so now new round. You guys are going to keep. We're not going to roll initiative again. We'll keep the same roll. So go ahead, Kate. What do you do? Go ahead, Chaska. Yeah.
Does my the devouring rhyme, does that seem to be impacting these things, not generating more skeletons?
Correct.
And have I covered, like, is it stopped it?
The 2 teeth that you touched.
How many teeth are there?
A lot. I'm trying to think. So I mean, you only have 3 more willpower to spend.
I'm picturing the whole Jason the Argonaut thing.
One left.
Keep just popping up.
1 power left.
I have 1 left. Okay.
I just say the stagecoach is away. Fall back.
All right, then. Yeah, if Bob is saying it's cool to fall back, then Chaska is following the pack.
Okay.
Which is in my nature, or is my what is that? It's a flaw.
Oh yeah.
I will provide stay back and provide basically an exit. If I need to clear a path through these things for them to withdraw, I will.
Okay. Oh yeah, pack mentality, 2-point flaw. Oh, strict carnivore. Okay, I gotta give you an extra XP for playing that up when we wrote that stuff up.
I'm glad you got it.
Yeah. All right.
See, Kate didn't realize that when he was just shoving the cabbage off on her.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you just know that Chaska eats nothing but red meat, basically.
All right. Do you want to do another spray with your Gatling gun?
Yeah, but this time I'm focusing on the mouth. I'm just going to light up the teeth. I'll spend rage because I actually want to head towards the. What I'm doing is I'm covering Chaska's escape essentially, and then with enough rage to sort of jump back on the carriage if need be. So that's been 2 or 3 rage.
Yeah, but because you already rolled, we're gonna keep your firearms roll already.
Okay, that works.
So go ahead, role play out what you're doing with 18 points of damage.
I'm like if there's I'm assuming a frog mouth. I'm just kind of going around the gum line, all dental, and just see how much I can just sort of shatter it.
Like a water pick. You're just going.
This isn't really a precision instrument, but the gift I'm using is kind of making it a precision instrument. Yeah. So after I do like one spray around, I dart back to the carriage.
Okay.
But only until after they've cleared.
And I'll be ahead of Bob, but I will stay close enough to him where if he does get in trouble, I can support him.
Okay. So you guys are you cleared off. The stagecoach kind of gallops a little bit enough so you guys can catch up to it. You get to the stagecoach, kind of hanging on top of it. You see Shadia kind of peek out from the outside and kind of wave her stick a bit, and you see a portal open up to it looks like some other part of the Umbra. It looks kind of like it looks deserty. It looks like the complete opposite place where you guys are now. It looks like it's a night sky, desert night sky.
Well, at least we'll dry out.
And she says, "Are you coming?"
Oh yeah, we'll hop in.
Yeah.
Jumping in.
As soon as I get back inside and go back to Hamid, I'm gonna cuff Arby in the back of the head.
All right. You get back inside and the
whole Leroy Jethro Gibbs just
and whoops, that's the wrong song.
Oh shit! Everything's going to hell now.
It's like Quantum Leap. You can go, oh boy.
I enjoyed that show.
I go looking for the professor if he's there.
Yeah, he's there.
I just look at him and go, "This is awesome." With that gift that we've been working on, I'm just taking credit for the Tommy's gift because it's before Thompsons were invented. Me and the professor came up with that in concert with that gift. This is amazing.
He goes, I can tweak it a little bit if you wanted to make it to do more damage to supernatural creatures.
We should work on that, especially. It's a good first test.
All right.
No, I had full faith in it, Chaska. He was downfield.
So our next place, Francesca kind of says is, we're waiting for our Wendigo to help us find that black spiral, which we don't have a lead on. We sent out word for a child of Gaia. So are we finally to the point where we need to get Broken River now?
Who's broker? Is that the Red Talon?
The Red Talon Aaron.
Yeah, I guess so.
Does it out of game? I'm going to be in Louisville next weekend. Is it good to go after the Aaron without the Aaron?
It'll make it more fun.
So you're not here next. You're not here next.
Yeah, I'm out of town for next weekend.
Okay. All right.
I mean, Phil can handle it.
Well,
It's a waiting game for the child of Gaia.
yeah, and then we've got the Wendigo and the Black Spiral kind of hand in hand. That's 13, and then so.
Well, we've got the Wendigo.
No, that's what I'm saying. But he needs to be 6th rank.
And you just need to find the pit. I want to be there for that one, Barney. Don't do the pit next weekend.
Yes, we are definitely not going into a pit without our arrow. That ain't happening. I'll just look around at everybody. Well, boys and girls, I guess we're putting on our best lupuses.
What do you think, Chaska?
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do the Red Talon for a while, so
Yeah.
If there's one group of white people that we can kind of understand, then there it is.
Do we, just out of curiosity, of our main group, is anybody a lupus? Or are we all Hamids or Metis?
Just the shitter wolf, apparently.
Yeah. The Shitawolf was the only lupus.
It makes me so happy when I remember that you made that character for him.
No.
It's sort of like the feeling that I imagine will happen one day when I hear you in a feminine voice giving Mark mothering
advice.
Mothering advice.
So, Barney?
Yeah.
I will go find Hardstone.
Okay.
And basically just pick his brain as to what to expect at the Red Talon Karen.
Yeah, and Hardstone is your Red Talon, but he's also a Metis, so he's not well like.
I know that's what I'm saying. He'll at least be able to give information as to this is what they're going to be like. This is how they're going to treat a monkey who shows up there, because I know that's what they call the Hamids.
Yeah.
This is what you can expect, and this is what you need to do to earn their respect, or at least get them to stop hating you.
Hey, it's just nature.
It's just nature. All right, Renown. Okay, now, so everybody give yourself +1 experience for the conversations you did in the Facebook group, and everybody give yourself and Adele, with the utilizing your weakness, give yourself an extra XP for that.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else do anything with their flaws?
No.
I'm always doing greedy things.
The House of Crescent Moon hasn't come to smack me around yet.
No.
Still waiting for that to happen.
Let's see here.
Where do we keep track of experience on the new form? I don't see an experience.
It's where the rage, gnosis, willpower, and all that is. Right above the notes.
Yeah, it took me a while.
Ah, yes.
So what's the standard experience?
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys click on like the all part of the tab, you can just see your entire sheet. Makes it
yeah. Up at the very top, just click all, and then all the sheets will show up.
All right. Let's see. Combat. Best.
I went straight into the literally into the mouth of combat. So I feel like Kate, Bob, and I should get some badass. Fought some fuckers off. Oh, and RB, I guess, kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Give you guys. Yeah, three glory.
I'm already maxed.
You should lose some glory.
I think we fought wisely. Yeah, actually, it's I wasn't fighting gloriously. I was fighting wisely.
I would say you get 1 honor, Bob, for protecting your pack.
All right.
Yeah, so I was just looking. They breaking the litany. So those 2 people, they lost Rhea and Stojan with 3 kids. They lost a total of 15 honor and 6 wisdom.
So they're no longer 6 rank because they told us.
Oh no, they earned it. They already lost it. They got it back.
Good thing they can't conceive anymore.
Yeah, they're sharing the same room in that stagecoach.
Oh jeez.
I mean, I know it's not technically a cairn anymore, but what about helping guard a cairn? I think that's honor.
Yeah. It's Give yourself 1 honor for that.
1 more.
Yeah, I need 2 more.